Hey, good morning, good morning. We played some of this deck last night. This Esper Goryo's Atraxa deck. We trophied our first league despite some questionable play with we did also get a slightly above average amount of luck at the very end, huh? But the deck was awesome. The deck was very awesome last night. This is a show we've played a decent amount of in the past. This sort of Esper, this Esper Goryo's deck that's kind of built around putting in the past Griselbrand into play, drawing a ton of cards, and then ephemerating the Griselbrand. And after at least just one league and some analysis, Atraxa does it better. Atraxa does it better. You don't have to pay 7 life. You get to look at 10 cards instead of 7. The vigilance is also like super relevant. The fact that it pitches to Solitude and Force of Negation is super relevant. The threat of hardcasting is also like way more reasonable at 7 mana instead of 8 mana. And Atraxa does it better. Atraxa does it better, which is wild to think that they printed a card advantage creature that does it better than Griselbrand. She also just like stabilizes so much better. There's a couple times yesterday we were at like 3 life, but we were able to Atraxa, and that won us a game in a spot that Griselbrand likely would have lost us the game. We've got. I liked the build. Obviously, there's a few cards you could change, but I think we trophied our first league. I just want to run it back today. Let's go. You don't think a scam combo will get a benefits of a high percentage of the meta, do you? No, please. It's too early for ban talk, chat. It's too early for ban talk. I don't think anything is going to get banned anytime soon. I don't think anything's going to get banned anytime soon. Alright, I'll keep this. Seems like you may want one more indulgence over a mending. The card disadvantage has been kind of tough on the play or with mauls. So the reason I have more mendings is largely because of me having 4 Shadow Prophecies. So Shadow Prophecy being able to mill over mending I think is pretty valuable. The life gain is valuable. I think this is certainly a deck that can sacrifice card advantage in the early game for the life gain and the all that good stuff. I think a 3-3 split would be fine. I think 4-2 versus 3-3 is like pretty negligible. I think it's like almost even like very hard to argue that one version is just better than the other, since it's just it would be more so like a card count, like black card count versus white card count for Solitude and Grieve, which is also part of the consideration. Not something to talk about too long, I guess. Magician 18 months, thank you. Any reasoning for no Aether Mage's Touch? Yeah, Aether Mage's Touch is like +6 cards to this build. So you have to play 2 extra lands, and if you play 4 Aether Mage's Touch, that's 2 extra lands plus 4 touch. I guess you're cutting the 2 footsteps, so maybe it is only +4 cards, but it's a lot of cards either way. And very simply put, I just don't think that there's room to play that many slots. I think that the list is very tight, despite all of the suggestions for cards to add. There's not like just a ton of. Actually, pretty unlucky for Tasha's to hit 12 cards here. Whatever. There's not just like tons and tons of room to play. Alright, I don't want to Goryo's into a drown. To play the Aether Mage's Touches, and you also don't need to play 8 reanimation effects in this version if you play Shadow Prophecy, because Prophecy is just so good at enabling your plan here. Okay, only 18 cards in my library. Have to go for the Goryo's now. It does seem like my opponent's just, intent, content, whatever, to hold up drown. How many Goryo's do I still have in my deck? Only 1. Alright, Mill, tough matchup. We did beat it yesterday playing for the trophy. I'm going to be continuing to play my Emrakul in basically every deck for the foreseeable future. with the prevalence of mill. So I think the main thing I've been cutting in this match, I've been going like way down on the looting effects, since mill like largely does the looting for you. I want the bindings because of Jace. I think I've been cutting the second Griselbrand too. What is nice is that Griselbrand is also like a relevant card in the deck. Or Emrakul is a relevant card. You can Goryo's it. Is 62 against Mill really worth it? I think that boarding up to, like 2 or 3 extra cards against Mill is like a strategy I've liked in the past. I don't know. I know like people like just don't put that much thought into how they phrase their questions, and I read too much into words. But people say really worth it. It's hard. It's like hard for me to exactly know like exactly what you mean by is X or Y worth it. There's in every single decision you make in Magic the Gathering has a combination of pros and cons. Alright, so let's get my Triome here before they mill it over. All 4 Force of Negations milled. But Teferi in the deck plus like an Emrakul is actually a really nice combo. Where if you have Teferi in play, they cannot surgical your Emrakul. They have to Tasha's it. So here if they play Jace, I'll probably end up bouncing my binding and binding the Jace. We'll see. I'm actually main phase. Well, I don't want to main phase Shadow Prophecy because I don't currently have a big creature in the yard for them to surgical. They can field in response to my prophecy to mess with my domain, but they don't choose to do so. Take the Solitude. Hardcast Solitude can get some pressure on them. But we also, did mill over Atraxa. If I see a Griselbrand, we can maybe put it in our hand and, like, discard the hand size. Huh. Fuck. They have 2 surgicals? No, thankfully. I didn't find a Ephemerate, though, or the Emrakul. So let me take Grief, Island, Teferi, Footsteps, Shadow Prophecy. I know it's a lot of cards. I think I'm okay, especially because I want to pitch the second Shadow Prophecy to Grief here. Okay, their hand is not doing too much either. Do I have fetchables in the deck? I have a Swamp, but I'd rather have that get got off the field, so let me just attack here. I think it's just a Swamp. They didn't exile the other Atraxas. They couldn't, because I Goryo's the same Atraxa that they targeted with Surgical, so I was able to effectively counter the effect. Okay, that was their draw for turn. I didn't accidentally forget Emrakul, did I? Nope. It's a good draw. Huh. Emrakul in the bottom 3, but I can Ephemerate to definitely get it. Let me take Goryo's, Griselbrand, Teferi, Strand, Footsteps. Emrakul, Binding, Solitude. Oh, sorry, not Solitude. Might as well take the land. Let's make sure we can discard the hand size. Casual 15 cards in hand. Oh, I can't cast the binding, huh? Guess it's Solitude Ephemerate. Then they'll put me at 10 power in play. Game 3 on the draw. Submit. So it's like a way better Niv Visit. Yeah, it's like Niv Visit without nearly as harsh deck building requirements. Lifelink pretty good too. Elden Rings you win. We did someone that came out. Let's get through the Dark Souls no hit first. Well, this hand's awesome. Gonna keep. You need a second blue card to Goryo's Atraxa with Force Up on their instep. So like 5 years, maybe. I don't know. Yesterday we had a really, really good first run. We got to Anor Londo, no hit, and then we died to a glitch, and then like a combination of like rust and fatigue and tilt kind of stopped us from making any more progress, unfortunately. There's the blue card, but we will make more progress. We will get it done, and we know how to avoid that the glitch going forward. What's my rental service plan? I use Mana Traders. I use the like second highest tier, but I've had it for like 4 years or something, so I'm able to basically rent any deck I want. Okay, so we're gonna go for end of turn Goryo's Atraxa with Force Up is gonna be our plan. Gonna fetch now. Since they didn't have Archive Trap just a second ago. Why is it so popular? Yeah, Jace is the main reason. Jace is really, really good. And I will be... I think that they have a counterspell here, so I think I'm supposed to... Goryo's in response to Lantern and hope to find another Force of Negation. And then if they don't counter this Goryo's, then I'll be okay. Didn't they mulligan? Dude, they mulliganed. They had double crab, Lantern, Surgical Dispute, 2 lands. Gross. Good shit. Fuck. Lost my headphone. No, opponent! No, they forgot to exile the Atraxa in the yard. No. Oh, opponent. Oh no. It is what it is. That was a swing. The swings lately have been so crazy. The swings. So I don't have enough domain to... Binding the Lantern and then Goryo's in response. I think I'm just gonna cast Teferi here. Then I guess we plus. Then we can go like target the Lantern next turn, Goryo's in response. Do we not attack? Nope. We could not attack. Damn it. Yeah, that makes them use the lantern. Fuck. Oh, sorry. I need to turn off. Do I need to now Solitude a crab in response? Maybe I do. So, what do I have in exile? I have all 4 Atraxas and the Emrakul in exile here. I still have 1 Griselbrand. Maybe I should have Solituded the crab first, Be crazy to lose this game anyways, huh? I can, like, Footsteps, Solitude, maybe Ephemerate also, if I, you know, have to draw Ephemerate, right? Let me... Maybe just Binding the crab pass. They only have 1 card in their hand. Could also go, like, end of turn, Footsteps, Goryo. Fractured Sanity. Dude, their draw has been ridiculous. Actually ridiculous. And not only did they, like, Fractured Sanity me, I didn't find my Griselbrand. Unless it's gone somehow. No, like, it just didn't mill it over. So I think I have to go, like, end of turn, Footsteps, Grief. Thankfully, I have a Force here. Oh, Atraxa up on the bottom right. Wave 7 months, thank you. What a ridiculous game. We are going down to 4 cards in hand. 4 cards in library. How do I even win this? Bounce Grief, maybe find Force Pitch. Yeah, kill them with Grief at the moment. Well, the problem is I'm sacrificing this Grief end of turn. Because I Footsteps it. So if I bounce Grief, I go to 3 cards in my hand. I think it's very unlikely I'd be able to hardcast the Grief here. How many Ephemerates do I have? No, 0. I have 0 Ephemerates, so I'm not going to be able to Ephemerate the Grief to put into play. How many black sources or lands do I have? That's a real headache. I don't see the island, so I could draw island here. Yeah, I guess the best plan is probably... Oh, I can't... Opponent controls? Okay, I was thinking I could Binding my Grief and then bounce Binding. Oh, island is in the yard. Okay, I mean, I think I just have to bounce this. Yeah, well... Tough beat, huh? We would have lost this game really easily if my opponent didn't have the, if they didn't misclick, so... Yeah, it is what it is. You Binding Grief. Cannot Binding Grief. It's only opponent controls. I think that we... can't win? I'm trying to think how we, like, kill them with the Griselbrand. We needed mid-tuck. We have the Emrakul. Emrakul helps a lot. My opponent also, like, very much had the nuts, like, double crab into Lantern Surgical Dispute on turn 2, or turn 3. The Fractured Sanity top deck was nuts. The Field of Ruin, their hand was really, really perfect. How many Goryos in the deck still? I mean, we have 1 in the hand. I think none in the deck. Yeah, none in the deck. We just draw Emrakul. The Emrakul is exiled. If Emrakul was in the deck, I wouldn't be, you know, sweating right now. I had to force that Crypt Incursion too. So gross. I can't force the Extirpate. Oh. Spike, you should Binding your Grief here. Good game, good game. It's also that, and then, like, Titan got very popular for 2 days, And then people are like, ah, Titan is broken, it needs a ban. And then just what happened, just people, like, the metagame adjusted, and now nobody's playing Titan. Titan is unplayable, actually. Here, here. Here, here. Titan is unplayable, actually. And just the natural cycle of Modern. Speaking of Titan. Oh, never mind. Okay. We cast my Indulgence. I think that it is very likely my opponent has a counter spell, but I also think it's somewhat likely that they won't counter Indulgence. Nexus of Fate for anti-mill and blue-white control. Nexus of Fate is really good against mill if and only if you are a deck that can reasonably cast it before you get milled out. Not cracking the map is nuts. But thankfully I have 2 Goryos. Ace of Spades, 18 months, thank you. You're doing well. I sound like a xylophone, you're telling me. Atraxa rating out of 6.5. Freaking 69. I don't know. The problem with Magic is everybody just has their own, like... there's no standardization of, like, evaluating and ranking cards. And Spike, how good is Atraxa? Good. It's like an upgrade to this deck. And that's kind of it in Modern. It's like you can play, like, one of it in Creativity. That's about it. Alright, gonna bring in the Stony Silences. I don't know that I want Force. I don't think so. I'm gonna cut all the Solitudes. I'm gonna cut not of this roll, though there's probably something really important for that. I'm okay, like, just having this as an okay main deck card and trimming it in most matchups. For now, at least. Maybe I do want Force. I think I want Teferi also. Maybe not the full 4, though. Probably cut an Ephemerate. Cutting Ephemerate's so hard though, because it's like it's a combo piece. Maybe like 2 Teferi, 2 Force of the draw. Reevaluate. Answer bridge. You have Binding. It's very. Don't like this hand. I'm gonna mulligan. Oh. I was gonna draw Ephemerate. The mono blue Tron players, huh? Okay, let's keep this. Discard Atraxa to hand size turn 1 up against a Giganta deck. How about a Rakdos Breach version of this deck? Wow. You broke it. Is Red Green Storm just a meme? Actually good? Looks pretty strong. As you know, the creator of Red Green Storm. I think the deck is like mini decks in Modern right now, very powerful and very high variance. That is my impression of Red Green Storm. I think that like Caleb Schur and I'm actually level 1 have put a lot of work into the list, and I think that they've made some like nice upgrades to the archetype as a whole. But that is my overall evaluation, is that the deck is powerful and like, you know, high variance. Okay, take the Goryos, very rude. We're at the Vindicator Asmo. Stuck. Kind of stuck on it. Might end up working on it more soon. We'll see. So Gigantha, Thoughtseize, Verdant Catacomb, Swamp, Beseiju. Interesting. I meant Underworld Breach. I know. I just like I'm having a hard time visualizing Rakdos Breach Goryos. But also, like, you know, I think that you know, this is what I really love about this Esper shell, is that you have answers to every hate card. You're really, really good against hate with this deck. You have Leyline Binding to answer any permanent-based hate. You have Teferi to answer Endurance and counterspells. You have Grief to answer Endurance counterspells. You have Prismatic Ending for Sanctifier and Vec, other permanent-based hate. You have Force of Negation. You have Stony Silence for artifact-based hate. You just literally have answers to every hate card, and you have like a lot of them too. Like yesterday we beat against Rakdos, we beat multiple Voidwalkers, multiple Moons, Leyline of the Void in the same game. It was awesome. Where do you have the answer triple Thoughtseize? The top of my library. Golgari Saga, no! Too powerful. Do you select the Raugrin Triome choking? I haven't played it in a while. The metagame is a little bit weird at the moment, so it's kind of hard to also say exactly how it would hold up at the moment. But I liked it a lot, and I imagine I would still enjoy it. Answer to Elder Storm besides Grief? Fucking killing them before it comes down, I guess. That is a card we have a hard time against. I mean, Griselbrand is pretty good against Elesh Norn. Oh, their food. Oh, yeah, we hardcasted an Atraxa today. It was awesome. We lost, though. Maybe it wasn't as awesome as I think. You have Teferi, I guess, can answer Elesh Norn. Is anything playing Elesh Norn? Yes. There's a lot of Elementals players that are playing. We're actually not far away from hardcasting, and we're one land away. There's some Elementals players playing Elesh Norn. There's some lists that I think look fine, and there's some lists that I think look horrible. But either way, there are lists. I have an Elesh Norn deck on the docket today as well. Wait a little bit to reveal it. Are we ever going to trophy race again, or we put that saga behind us? I don't know. As a streamer and as a person, I'm just always wanting to evolve and grow and improve. And I'm open to trophy racing again. I think that the next time we do something like a trophy race, it is going to be, and I want to do this at some point this year. I want to do a trophy sprint, and I want to do it for charity. I kind of have to save some money though, because Esther's been unemployed for a while, but she's getting a job. But she got a job. Hasn't started yet. Kind of rambly, but I want to save up a lot of money and then do a charity event where I'm donating every single time I trophy during the week or the 2 weeks, however long the trophy sprint is. And I don't know when this year we're going to do that, but that is one of the goals for this year. So not the same trophy race structure, but I think that would be pretty cool. And then, I am, open to doing a trophy race again at some point, but just kind of have to find the right time, I didn't see it pro data. I've seen a lot of Elesh Norn elemental decks, though. I didn't see Magic Aids list. I think we could do it alongside you. Yeah, I like, the thing is, like, that will happen, of course. That will happen. People, very generous. But also, like, I mean, that's kind of the idea, too. Like, we get to raise more money for a charity. It's more exciting, like, we trophy, and then that's a donate, that we're building up to something. I don't know. Trophy sprint, Spike versus Ginger, who wins? We could do. I know that the competition in the trophy race last time was like really cool, and I'm not like super opposed to it. That being said, it's always like very stressful, and it's just a lot to like mentally prepare for. Like, if we're gonna do it again, if we're going to do the trophy race again, I really really need to be mentally prepared to take on Ginger and his tenacity, or whoever wants to compete. So I don't know if it would be a like community thing, the trophy split or sprint, or just me thing. We'll see. If it was easy, it wouldn't be any fun. Yeah, of course. But that's the thing too. Like we just can't be trophy racing all the time. It's just not like sustainable. Which is all like part of the fun of the trophy race is I think watching me burn out and watching me lose my mind. But definitely not very sustainable. Asmo here is really gross. Not of this world. Not going to be able to contend with all these food, I guess. I do get to gain 6 whenever they kill a Solitude, at least. So up to 37. They have 3 cookbooks, though. Let's see. Let's take a draw step. Land lets me Atraxa, which is nice. 3 pretty rough top decks in a row. Stick to Dark Souls. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be sticking to Dark Souls for now. I'm also, like, not wanting to be a full-time Dark Souls streamer either. I got 1 life. I want to do a lot of stuff. 24 hours, no hit Souls charity. The problem is, like, my endurance with Dark Souls is not very high. After, like, 4 hours of no hit Dark Souls, my brain is so fried. Oh, Atraxa, yeah, Death Touch plus Asmo, you're right. If I was a trophy racer today, I know how to play. I mean, I would still play it. I just like the last trophy race. I still have to do a variety of content because that's it's for my own like mental sanity. Because I don't know like what Ginger has inside of him that lets him play the same deck for like thousands of hours. But I just whatever that is, I don't have it in me. All right, let's go. But I think I would have, if I was going to grind a deck to trophy race right now, it would be Prowess, almost 100%. So I can not have this world one of the Asmo activations, which at least will shrink the construct. Hopefully I find a Solitude, although I only have 2 left in the deck. Yeah, lack of passion and commitment, huh? Was this deck decent with all Goryos beforehand, or does Atraxa provide enough density to put this one into real condition? I've trophied with this deck in the past. I remember when we first... It's kind of like... We actually had like a very similar saga last time as we're having now, where like I trophied the very first league I played with this deck back in the day. Okay, let me take Solitude, Godless Shrine, Leyline Binding, Goryo's Vengeance. So that's creature, enchantment, land, instant. Okay. But yeah, like again, I trophied like immediately. I trophied like immediately with the deck, just like yesterday, and then like they're kind of a combination of like scam becoming popular and metagame shifts. Maybe not like the deck as much anymore. But and the version was also a little bit different. I think the first time we played it was like before we found the Aether Mage's Touch tech and before Leyline Binding Shadow Prophecy were printed. And then Leyline Binding Shadow Prophecy both got printed, and I spent a good amount of time working on this archetype, and I do really like both of those cards in this shell. Am I going to take 16? Tell chat about the next chess boxing event with Spike fighting Doom. I think Doom would destroy me. But for charity, I guess. I'll do it. Confused why Atraxa. Yeah, Death Touch, yeah. So again, linear, like, this is the kind of deck that, even though you have a lot of answers to hate, it's just not going to ever really be a deck that you can just play in any metagame. It's a deck that you can play, I think, in a lot of metagames, and it's a deck that, like... shoot. Yeah, let me just Solitude the Construct, then I can go Binding, Asmo, then play Atraxa next turn. It's a deck that you can play in any metagame, I think, this deck, but it's probably not one that would be, like, the best choice for any metagame, if that makes sense. Like, there are going to be better choices. Has that Boros Horizon deck been my favorite Boros Lotus Field deck so far? I mean, I don't know. I've only played 1 league. I trophied. It was awesome. There was someone on Twitter saying that they were playing the deck and they were, like, 12-3 with it, which is pretty exciting. Oh, boy. I would have to, play more with it to say if it was my favorite or not. They could kill their own Asmo and like Blood Fountain it back, maybe. Seems to be the plan. I'm surprised you haven't given it another go. I mean, when would have I given it another go? Because, like, I trophied. Then yesterday there was maintenance. I played one league with this. We trophied, and now we're, you know, continuing this. I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of time in between, right? Okay, sorcery, instant. Could say Griselbrand. I think that's all the types. Interesting game. With double side cards can pick either side. I think you have to pick the front side. Atraxa's bugged. Replay cannot see the rules. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Although they can deduce and figure out. Oh no, it says in the log what I chose. They must have fixed it. It says in the log what I chose. I can see it. Good job, Daybreak. The heroes we don't deserve. Never want to draw 2, lose 5 over Shadow Prophecy because it's sorcery. No, Prophecy is amazing in this deck. It filling up the graveyard and digging 5 cards deep for Goryos is just insane. And in post-board games, it's a good way to like grind through hate and grind through like good interaction, especially because it's an instant. Like I think people are like a little too like concerned with the types on Atraxa. Like hitting 4 cards with Atraxa is fine, especially because you get a ton of selection. You don't need to like hit 5, 6, 7 cards. Sometimes you will hit 5 or 6, 7 cards in this deck, but I think you should be content with the types. Yeah, just we have 4 like Bobble specifically. Like I'm not interested at all. That should be clear. Yeah, we do. That is why we're playing Not of This World. But like again, that's why like I think the first copy of Not of This World was fine. Especially because your deck is just built around getting one of these things into play like every single game. That's the whole strategy. And so having one card that's really dedicated for that, I think, is correct. Okay, so I don't want to like. I guess I could go hardcast Griselbrand with Ephemerate up. Let me see. I do have another fetchable, right? No, they have enough to really get me though. But I could gain a lot of life. Worried about drawing too many cards. Whatever. What a game. Because they have the double Asmo this, and I gain 14 if they do. Trying to find a Grief. Okay. Grief, Pitch, Shadow Prophecy. Oh no, I need to Solitude the... I need to Solitude Asmo before I do that. So I can like actually Ephemerate my Grief here. I really want to Ephemerate Grief because they resolved a Profane Tutor last turn. Let's go to gain a quick 14. Goryo Solitude. I didn't like that as much as this. I think this was better. I mean, I got 16 cards in my hand. This can't have been that bad of a line, right? What a game. Hopefully they have 3 spells. I mean, I guess we know they have a Oval Chase. Wow! This is nuts! We get to shuffle their graveyard. We get to shuffle the Oval Chase away. So I have another Grief, right? Yeah. Round 1 loss. Mill. It was a really brutal game. Wild. Right, discarding 4 cards. Can't deactivate in response? It doesn't work though. Alright, we'll see if their top card is worth taking. Do I have any Ephemerates left in my deck, actually? One. Oh, well. That's interesting. We've hardcast 2 Griselbrand and 2 Atraxa this game. Retain priority 31 months, thank you. What a game. Would Dream Halls be too good in Modern? As a general rule of thumb, if you like a card, it would be totally fair and totally cool, man. And if you don't like a card, it would be way too good and should never enter the format, man. As just, you know, usually how I think about it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually leave the Land of the Earth on the deck myself, or in the library on the deck myself, nor wreck myself. Hey, good 16 months. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. I'm in favor of a Twin unban. We talked about this to death. Green Sun Zenith is, I think, silly to unban. It would be like way too good in Titan. It like not only does it just get Dryad Arbor on turn 1, but you know it can grab. It gets to grab Grazer, Dryad, Azusa, Titan, Colossus, and then potentially Atraxa now, and then also like any answer to like Blood Moon or Hate cards like with Reclamation Sage on curve, and it's just. It would be like way too good and tight in my opinion. Yeah, Green Sun Zenith unbanned, that's I think silly, but Twin I think is a fine unban. Yeah, I guess we probably should have draw step Ephemerated, but there's not also like I kind of want to figure out like what they can even have. Like Green Sun Zenith, you know, I know that there are like plenty of noble intentions for wanting Green Sun Zenith unbanned, but it would not be used for noble purposes at all. Dingo, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. This game we hardcast 2 Griselbrands and I think 3 Atraxas. Alright, let me bring in the Stony Silences. Greeting from Magicon. Oh, right, I forgot that you're over there. Have fun. I'm gonna be serious FOMOing this weekend, crying at the club. Watching all my friends have a good time at Magic 30 without me. Aggie, 9 months, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Crying at the club, thinking about Magic 30. Yeah, you're in Philly too, right, Doom? Don't have too much fun without me, y'all. Just play 3 endings. Yeah, I just didn't have the bandwidth really. I wanted to go, but need to rest. Leaving in like an hour. Safe travels. Good trip. I think they only lost due to Emrakul mainboard. I think we could have beaten them if they still were able to have the Daredevil loop going at that point. I wonder, I know, I'm a Solitude Leyline Binding deck. I can't be too worried about their Goryo's plan, right? Ooh, baby. Sorry, opponent. Feels bad playing the food deck to run into the only deck in Modern that plays Stony. I guess Control does sometimes, but Reanimator plays Stony so that you can beat artifact-based graveyard hate. And just, like, incidentally wrecking food opponents is just, you know, part of the equity, I guess. Oh, I should have played Delta to get a island here. Although, I'll just let this resolve. If they take the Prophecy, we can wait. Or cast Mending. We're chilling, we're chilling. They found a second land. They suspended Profane Tutor. The Raugrin Triome. Mending. Oh. Could have maybe waited. We're fine. Don't think I'm dying to Haywire Might. Famous last words. Churning Beseiju? Maybe. Maybe you're gonna try to figure out how to throw an Emrakul at me, but I have binding for that. Time of Need is very cool, so it finds either Emrakul or Asmo. Huh. I wonder how many of that they're playing. I wonder if it finds anything else. Shot Prophecy is so good. They shouldn't be able to Emrakul me here, though, right? With the Stony in play. But even if they could, now I have the Solitude up. So I think we just pass. I think it's resolve with Tutor, though. Wait, was Dingo streaming from, like, the hotel room today? I love Dingo so much. Every single time I tune in and lurk in the mornings, he's just so good to watch. But also, he provides all my news for me. I always know that Magic Online is going under maintenance because Dingo tweets about it. I look up, I see that Dingo's tweeted about it, like, every single time there's surprise maintenance. So from someone's house, cool. Surely they didn't tutor Saga. Oh, I tutored Saga. And don't call me Shirley. They do have the Emrakul in their hand here. So yeah, maybe those like Thoughtseize themselves or Bone Shards. Wow, Bone Shards Emrakul. Into Goryos. That's sick. So I can Footsteps my Emrakul here and then Modern Horizons 2, am I right? Am I right? Or am I right? Les, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Alright, good job 7. We literally can't even Atraxa here. Ephemerate, Griselbrand doesn't even draw you like 4 cards when you Ephemerate it. It's so bad. Okay, we can go discard 1, 2, 3. Looking for Goryos. I guess I could just hardcast Atraxa, huh? Probably do that this turn. We have hardcast a lot of Atraxas today. Only 16 cards left in my library. What a game. Oh, I cited out my Greaves. That's right. It's like Flooded Strand, Ephemerate. have another white source, right? One more. Yeah. So we can just Solitude Ephemerate, so we don't go to discard here. Order the exile the Might first, so they gain 1 less life when we exile the constructs. I guess maybe I'm opening myself up to another Emrakul with this line. I could be an Emrakul though. Block. Math, give the sub to Emerald, thank you. Alright. GLHF. Oh, we can keep this. No! Stop! I'm so tired. I'm so tired of all the mill. Guess I'm taking second crab. I don't know. The Jace is also a big problem. I guess I have the Solitude. I can Solitude a crab potentially, or find Ephemerate. Oh, whoops! I forgot to fetch my turn. I meant to check if Archive Trap was clear. Yeah, Raw Priest is a pretty high variance deck, is my current evaluation. Not a bad deck though, but high variance, huh? Alright, we have 0, 2, 4, 7, 3, so this should just be a draw 2. So let's see what we draw. We have the Mendings that we can flashback here. I think I'm... Oh boy. Just gonna be just evoke here. Part, you must say thank you. Do you think the Shadow Archetype could be developed more? Any deck can always be developed more. I think that you basically never have to have the mindset that an archetype is solved. I think that is almost never true. I really like the Grixis Shadow deck I was playing with Breach. Even in that archetype, there's like a lot of smaller deck building decisions, difference of opinion on how to play the strategy, but no deck is ever completely solved. Mention a Boosto deck is there Decklist I'm working on. I am working on the list. I don't have anything to show you at the moment, but when it's ready, I will play with it, and then we'll have a good time. You know, when it's ready. And not a moment sooner. And not a moment sooner. Meta too harsh for Anviltron? Meta's really bad for Anviltron, yeah. Thank you, Griselbrand, kind of. Too harsh, you know, what does that mean? I don't know. It ain't good, I'll tell you that. Guess I give this Prophecy to dig? I don't know, it's tough. Just, you know, not finding the reanimation effect here, of course. Right. Can't beat Mill 12 here. I think there's a Rock Breach that's red-black that could be better than Grixis version. I've had this question posed many times at this point. I don't think so. Like, I don't know, like, what it is that, like, red-black would be doing better than Grixis. Every single time I've tried to build, like, straight red-black, it has felt to me to be, like, significantly worse than Splashing Blue. And Splashing Blue doesn't, like, Splashing Blue is very easy. Splashing Blue adds a lot of cards that are very valuable in any Grixis Breach version. Why, you have to figure out why Rakdos is better. Pending for the crabs. We have 8 removal spells. I don't think you want pending. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Right, let's go on. One Stony Silence. The thing is, they play like 1 or 2 lanterns
What's up?
usually.
It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
And you have Force of Negation for Lantern. Lantern's tough, but my impression is they just don't play enough copies. Opponent's also on a mold of 6. Coolio, Twitch Prime, thank you. Start with 62. Yeah, 62 on purpose against Mill. You can board in 1 to 3 cards, kind of depending on like the number of lands you have, the number of cards you want to bring in. And then goes to the 16. Coolio with the Twitch Prime, thank you. To fetch now because of them potentially drawing trap. I have an Atraxa in the yard. Could maybe grief them now, although it does really feel like they've got a surgical. Is pending the only good sorcery for Atraxa? You have Footsteps of the Goryo too. You just don't need like a bunch of every single card type. You just, you know, if Atraxa is pretty consistently finding you 4 cards, sometimes more, that's fine. If you had to play just get Prowess with 4 Prismatic main or Blue-Red Prowess with no whiteness 35, what would you play? I would play Blue-Red Prowess with a white splash in the sideboard. I have a list you can find in the Stream Decker. I have a list you can find in the Stream Decker. I don't understand. Can someone tell me the argument for main deck ending and prowess? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I don't understand. Like why the main deck endings? I don't get them. This is the list I would play. This is the list I might play this weekend or something close to it. I might cut the 4th Breach for a Grape Shot, but or 4th Breach for a Sprite Dragon. But I think the white splash for Wear Tear and Change. I think like Change the Rocks answering Sanctifier Murktide is really nice. I think that Portable Hole is also better than Prismatic Ending in this deck because it's more mana efficient and you're basically never exiling anything for 3 mana. This is another opinion I've had. I mean, exiles means permanence. Okay. That's I guess I don't know what else I was looking for here. 2 Prismatic Ending to hit Crab or Bridge. Extra potential removal bridge seems good. I don't. You could play 1 or 2 Prismatic Ending. It would be okay. I don't think it's very mandatory in this matchup either. Stan, 3 months. Thank you. But the main reason I would want ending would be to exile Lantern. Honestly, I've been playing Mana Ending Logic being you bring in your white removal and more than half the matchups. Portable Hole, Chain to the Rocks get blown up by EE. Hidetsugu Saga. Okay, so I do not recommend bringing in Chain to the Rocks against Rakdos. I basically never bring in removal against Rakdos. You bring in white removal in more than half your matchups. But a huge chunk of the reason why you want to bring in white removal is because it deals with Sanctifier and Vec, which is not a game 1 card, right? So I don't you wouldn't hate having Prismatic Ending main deck against Hammer, but Hammer's like a pretty good matchup game 1. It gets much worse because of their sideboard cards that you're bringing in to answer, right? What cards you set up most in prowess? I mean, it just all depends. I don't know if there is one card that I can give you the answer for there. But I do appreciate the answer. I do appreciate the answer. But I just don't think it's like very good in the archetype. It's like pretty mana inefficient. It doesn't contribute to your aggro game plan very well. Your linear aggro deck, you know. Yeah, I guess like but I also I would never want to bring in the Prismatic Ending against Rakdos. Like Prismatic Ending is really bad against Rakdos, and it's also like not that good against Murktide either. Like you don't really care very much about Ragavan, Ledger Shredder, DRC. The card Murktide is really hard for you to beat because it's an 8/8 and you're a red deck, which is why I like Change the Rocks. But all those other cards just don't matter that much. Shredder's kind of annoying, I guess. But Ending is also like not that efficient against Shredder. It's 2 mana for 2 mana. I really like the Ending against Chalice decks. That's fair. That is a good answer. That is a good answer. You know, you also have Wear Tears in the sideboard here against Chalice decks. Like, I don't think Chalice is so common in the main deck that you want to be main decking it. But again, I'm not just trying to just argue. I'm trying to keep the dialogue open. But I do appreciate the feedback, of course. Do you go for Atraxa over Griselbrand usually here, or wait till someone tries to reanimate it? So like for at least as far as surgical goes, like I play more Atraxas. I play 4, and so targeting Atraxa gets more copies out of the library, which I think makes some sense to go for that reason. Isn't Spree better answer for Chalice? I mean, Spree is about equal. Is better against specifically Chalice and just ending, because it can be Chalice plus Counterspell. Wear Tear, I think is, you know, what I like about Wear Tear is that it can be a 1 mana answer to like Saga. Again, in the Amulet Titan matchup, I feel like that is like really nice at the moment. Where like a lot of times Magus of the Moon on the draw is really slow, so Wear Tear being able to like kill a Saga and buy you time, I found to be really nice. And it's also like kind of nice against blue-white control too, where when you bring in Shattering Spree, you have to bring in Shattering Spree against blue-white, and this is the same issue for Prismatic Ending, where your Prismatic Endings can hit exactly Chalice and Rest in Peace, but they can't hit Binding. Wear Tear can hit Chalice, Shattering Spree also can't hit Rest in Peace, but Wear Tear can hit Rest in Peace, Binding, and Chalice. They always have Visions. Visions is so good. Scary hand. As an Amulet player, I have many friends saying Amulet needs to be banned. Well, this is just like how the modern cycle works. A good new card for Amulet just got printed. Mike and Sith Gardens. People start playing Amulet again because Amulet is and because Amulet is a really, really good deck that's really underplayed. It's performing well. Amulet like continues to be very, very good and very underplayed. And dang, I left him with Surgicals at extra pay. Got max punished. The deck is just very good. You know what I mean? The deck is a very good deck. It's been a very good deck. It will continue to be a very good deck. I think I can just like never. I'm not gonna get to Footsteps this game, and that's okay. But what I can do is, do I have another untapped white land to fetch? Should have a fountain at least. It's just like Amulet's really good and really underplayed. This has been the case for a really long time. Mike and Sith Gardens is a small adjustment, but Amulet is also like definitely a deck that has weaknesses, and like it's very good. I do still think it's underplayed, but you know it is underplayed for a reason. Like it's not very good against Scam. Mill is really popular. Mill is a nightmare matchup for Amulet. It is you know, just kind of a combination of a lot of things, I guess. Why not jam another Grief and take Surgical Protect Emrakul? I didn't have double black mana because they Field of Ruin me. Not timing for Ephemerate. They plus Jace on Grief, so Grief has 0 power. But it's also like, I don't know, like a new card. It's always so funny to me when like people are playing Amulet. It's broken for like people are calling for bans before there's any amount of like metagame adjusting. Wow, they're Surgically Binding? I mean, I could just respond to Surgical. That's actually really big because it leaves the Griselbrand in the yard. But I put away the Footsteps because I was thinking they would just be Surgically the Griselbrand. But this is actually really good for me. And I still have my Emrakul in my deck too. And I got the Surgical out of the yard. Yeah, people keep going Elesh Norn's so good against Amulet. But yeah, absolutely. It's way too slow. This is fine, right? That doesn't do very much against the Emrakul. Having Mending in the yard is also really nice because if I draw Emrakul, it could be a disaster, but Mending lets me, you know, get the trigger. Think Quicken is a playable card in Pioneer? I mean, I've played Quicken in Pioneer. Is it playable? No. Maybe. Yeah, no. I don't know. That'd be $5. Atraxa has been awesome. Atraxa is so good. It is better than Griselbrand. Not by like a lot, but is better in my opinion. Ooh, Teferi means no surgical on my Emrakul. We've hard cast Atraxa like 5 times today. We trophied yesterday. We didn't yesterday. Hard cast it at all. Alright, let me just draw a card here. That's a pretty good card. I guess I just want to like draw step Ephemerate, end of turn Griselbrand. So I only have 14 cards in my library. So like if I even actually had like, if I had one more card, one more life, then like I could just draw 14 with Griselbrand, discard Emrakul. Four lands in hand. Why did they surgical by binding? That was so weird. Alright, no way I can get lethal, so we'll just attack. I don't have any Atraxas in the deck that got surgical. Oh, I could have killed it with Emrakul though. Actually, I forgot. I could have potentially Goryo's Emrakul here. That's okay though. Yeah, we'll just go Ephemerate. Discard Griselbrand to hand size. Forget to plus Teferi. It's okay. Yeah, I actually would have killed them with Emrakul here. Alright, let's run it back. Shouldn't we keep Ephemerate for Grief Draw Steps so they couldn't play a Mill 13 spell? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? We have 37 cards in our library. How's the deck feeling? Very good. We trophied with it yesterday. Liking it a lot. Can we keep this on the draw against Mill? It's pretty good if we draw a black land. Or black spell. I'm going to keep. What's on the multi 6? Is there a word we want Force of Negation main? So if you play Force of Negation main, I would really like to play Aether Mage's Touch in the main as well. And then you can try to combo off entirely at instant speed with Force of Negation up. We did draw the black card. To do that, I think the main thing you'd have to do is cut Shadow Prophecy. You'd have to cut Shadow Prophecy, and then you'd have to make a couple of other cuts to play extra lands and to play the Aether Mage's Touches. And I think the Shadow Prophecy is too good to cut, but that would be the required cut for what it's worth. Okay, let's take Fractured Sanity. So they can't do anything next turn, and then the Rebound can get me Archive Trap, and then I can Ephemerate again. Just gonna shred their hand. What did you get the footsteps? Well, so the thing is, you're only playing 2 footsteps. So, and then for Aether Mage's Touch, you need 2 extra lands. You need to play 22 minimum, maybe even 23. If you're playing 4 of them, because you also need to add cottages. Cottages hurt the mana base enough. You have to go up on lands a pretty significant amount. I guess I can just go take Visions. Ephemerate Grief. Take Archive Trap. I don't think I draw step this Ephemerate. I'll do it a little bit later, I think. You have to cut some non-swap lands into a cottage to prophecy some domain power. I've played Shadow Prophecy in the domain deck. It's playable. It's good. It's not actually not very hard at all. But I think to make room for Force of Negation, so like I think the main for me the main draw to playing this version is that you get to play like a ton of blue cards and play all the instant speed with Force of Negation. That in my mind is the main draw to that version. So I don't think I want to exile the crab, since I kind of want them to mill over a creature for me to Goryos. So that's kind of why I think you would have to cut the Shadow Prophecies, because there's really not room to cut anything else. We should Ephemerate now. They have a land. That's not too bad. Especially if they mill a creature for me. No such luck. And overall, like, so that was the version I was trying to build for a while. And it's kind of why it took me so long to play this, was because I was trying to build that version for a while. But I think that this is the better of the two directions, unless I can figure out something else. Yeah, I want them to mill over Mending or perfect, or a creature. So totally fine not killing the crab here. There's so much mill on Magic Online right now. How are people? It's honestly a little surprising to me. I would really think that. There would be enough like Emrakuls at this point that we would see less less mill. Is mill the bad guy? I mean, like any deck that you just play against over and over again ends up feeling like the bad guy, right? We've played against it at least twice a stream, every stream for like the last week. And it's the gameplay against mill is like never like super fun. Okay, if they mill over Emrakul, we win. It's okay. I'm gonna win anyways. Planeswalker, enchantment, creature, land. Alright, get the 4-1 prediction going. Missed instant. Oopsie doopsie doopsie. We're up against what? A Gigantha? If this was untapped white source, this would be a slam dunk keep. I'm gonna keep anyways, I think. I know it's a one-lander, but we got the scam. With a second Ephemerate to Ephemerate again. People are talking about playing Atraxa and Creativity over Archon. I think that you should play exactly one Atraxa and Creativity. I think that being able to put multiple creatures into play at the same time is a huge chunk part of Creativity's game plan, and I think that legendary creatures in general play a bit worse in Creativity's deck because of that. But like one Atraxa, 3 or 4 Archon seems like a good number. Another food deck. Another food deck. Also Solitude Ephemerate this game, maybe. Tree of Antiquity. Thank you for the 25 months. Welcome, welcome. EV of a pack is only 1.2 ticks. Okay. Maybe, like, get luckier. I'm surprised, honestly. I would have guessed higher. Just trying to think the order. Yeah, the Emrakul food Goryo's deck is very cool. Nice to see it picking up in popularity some. Yeah, I think that I agree. I think 90 is not sustainable. Don't you think playing with the Atraxa and Creativity will mess your plays because you won't be able to play around the certainty of Archon? I think you're overthinking it. Especially like if you Creativity X equals 2, you know you get 1 Archon, but I think Atraxa stabilizes about as well as an Archon stabilizes a lot of the time, and Atraxa's really fucking good. And I think beyond that, it's not, you know, not the deepest. Like the first copy seems very good to play. Any copies beyond that seem worse. Goryo's food could totally run Atraxa. Almost definitely should be. Probably are. Oh, shuffling the Daredevil's nice. Hell's Not a World. We started out every single matchup. I think it's like a fine main deck card to have access to. I'm probably not going to play it in the main deck going forward. I might still have one on the side for like blue-white control, like Solitude decks in general. But it's been, you know, it's kind of cute. It's cute. Yeah, we've used it a couple times. We also like haven't played against like almost any Solitude decks. And I think that, you know, for a deck that's playing like its entire game plan is putting one of your 6-7 power creatures into play, and the fact that it's, you know, a tribal for Atraxa, I think is, you know, it's enough to like keep your thought on it here. Would never play more than one. Dude, Shadow Prophecy is so good. Shadow Prophecy is like... I would have a hard time imagining playing this deck without the Shadow Prophecy plan. Especially because the deck wants binding so badly. It's an enchantment, it answers so many problems. Alright, it's our second time playing against this food deck this league. So with 4 Solitude, 4 binding, I don't think we need to play like Force of Negation for Goryos. I'm gonna cut. So I think last time I cut the Grief, so I cut the Not of This World, and then I played like 2 or 3 pending. I think I played 3. I think I played 3. I never cut an Ephemerate. Is my current plan. Maybe I cut this Teferi. Let's cut the Teferi. It's okay. Oh, Teferi is actually really good against Goryos. You can't Goryos Emrakul with Teferi in play. We'll play 1. Yeah, binding is messed up in the deck, I agree. In the best way. Looked into anything playing Elshnorn and Elementals at all? I have an Elshnorn brew I think we're about to play. I've seen a few different Elshnorn Elementals lists. There's some I like and that look okay, kind of normal, and there are some like terrible versions I really dislike. We may play Elshnorn Elementals at some point, but that is like literally like the only place anybody's put it so far, so I've been a bit more interested in trying it in a different show, which we're actually like right about to do. Yeah, of course you have Eighth of Aegis Touch. Instead of Not of This World, is a +1 Teferi or Tainted. I think 6 2-mana looters is like the number I'm pretty happy with. Could get Emrakul on turn 2 here. Elshnorn. Yeah, so that was something I was thinking about that last night. I think that you could play a Bant Eldritch Evolution deck with Elshnorn, Solitude Ephemerate, 1 copy of Atraxa to like to have this nut draw where you go Solitude Ephemerate on turn 2, untap, Evolution into Atraxa, and then you also have Elshnorn to tutor up. I think that could be a deck. A lot of moving pieces, and I think would struggle against decks like, you know, linear decks. But I haven't done much more than like theory crafted. I guess I haven't done much more than just like theory craft. But that's not what we're playing next. We have a different shell. Okay. So we'll time Thoughtseize for them. Mana Screw versus Mana Flood. Or I guess not Mana Flood, but all combo pieces. Second Cookbook. Okay. Could get Emrakul here. Did I try Obliterator and Helia combo? We played like 3 matches or something. I just don't think that it's good. Like, we might try Obliterator in the Asmo deck, but Obliterator is just not a very good card. You know what I mean? Okay, feeling like we're getting Emrakul. We'll see. Marauder and Ape Blast. I could. You could. Here it is. Alright, good beats. Dead to the cat, actually. Oh no, so I guess the cat gets shuffled. Running it back. Running it back. Spike, Asmo package, Devoted Druid combo, Tyvar, Necrotic Ooze, Watery Grave to find any pieces needed. That's what I got. Go. Sounds like a terrible pile, honestly. Like, why are you playing Necrotic Ooze and like, so like you have Devoted Druid combo, right? You have Devoted Druid combo. Why are we adding Necrotic Ooze to Devoted Druid combo? Just play Devoted Druid combo, right? Thank you, sweetheart. Dude, so many people today come in. Fine, Spike. You yelled at me in a YouTube video. I'm finally coming to the stream. Now, every single stream I have to yell. I have to yell at YouTube every stream. And what's even worse is that's exactly what you want. That's the worst part, is that's exactly what you want. Because they can be in the graveyard, sure. It's just like, the Ooze like doesn't even work that well with Tyvar though, right? Because it's like, it doesn't get brought back by Tyvar. It's a 4-mana 4/3. Does Ooze work with Grist? I don't think Ooze works with Planeswalkers. I could be wrong. Suspends Profane Tutor. Hardcast Solitude should be pretty good here. We'll see. Tyvar lets Ooze combo the turn you play him. Yeah, Tyvar also lets you Devoted Druid the turn you play it, and it brings back Devoted Druid. There's no reason. I don't see any reason to also play Ooze. It just doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Redundancy? If you want redundancy, play more ways to tutor Devoted Druid. Because Devoted Druid plays much better with Tyvar than Ooze does, because it gets brought back by Tyvar. I mean, if my opponent's able to Emrakul me here, good beats. Did I say something about one of Jin? We used to play Jin plus Griselbrand with Atraxa. There's no reason to do that anymore, I think. This thing is very cool. Diabolic Intent, okay. So, good news, bad news. Bad news is we're likely dead next turn. We get we have many good draws here, including this one. This stops them from being able to discard the Emrakul to the cookbook. Is the red dead important? Yeah, I actually don't know what they're playing red for, because Asmo can be played for black also. And if you're mono black, you get a lot of utility lands. Ah, this is what the red's for, huh? Yeah, maybe a bit of reunion. They might be playing Fate Salvaging. Salvaging's pretty good, like card advantage spell with Daredevil, and it plays well with the Emrakul plan. Suspends another Profane Tutor. Okay, I'd like to draw a looting effect or chat. We got a lot of good draws here. That is not something I'm casting this turn, I think. Through the Breach on the side. It's interesting. I like this deck. I think it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the other... They might be playing Epicer. I don't know if the other list was. Might have been. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm just getting the two lists confused, because this is the second time we played this matchup this league. Okay, great draw. Let me just exile a cat so I can keep attacking, but now I have protection against the Emrakul plan. Epicer seems bad. I like Epicer. I think if it synergizes with the plan well, it's always a card that seems kind of underrated to me, but maybe I'm wrong. As much as I hate to use that word, wrong. Was Grief not a good option here? Well, we have plenty of other ways to disrupt the combo. I'd say in general, Grief is really bad against the Food, Cauldron, Familiar, Oval Chase, Daredevil package. And, you know, you're still, like, open to them top decking. And it's not like... We have plenty of combo protection with Solitude, Leyline Binding, Stony Silence. We've got a lot going on here. I like Blood Fountain better. Well, Blood Fountain don't block Ragavan, you know what I mean? Also, they're playing Intent. Epicure is definitely way better with Intent. Ah, Thoughtseize themselves. Well, thankfully we have the Ephemerate here. They have to shuffle away their familiars. Not that they can make food, I suppose. Is a sack demonic turn not better than spin one? I don't know. Like, honestly, you want to set up for Emrakul on, like, turn 4 most of the time anyways. Turn 3, turn 4. I don't know. Maybe. Alright. Well, okay, good enough. 4-1 that league. Definitely performing really well. I'm kind of I think I might want to play this at the RCQ. Dreading trying to buy Atraxas. Maybe Esther will buy them for me with her new job, huh? Wandering Emperor. Control staple. That being said, let's pivot. That's like, you know, a lot of leagues in a row with Esper Goryos. Deck's definitely doing a lot of work. But I want to get one league of this done today, especially because I'm taking most of the weekend off. We're in really deep. We're in really deep. Let's talk about it.